Hello, myself Drishti Mondol, roll number 40, and I'll be explaining why we picked up Bhanushankar Patra Boli and Chithi Patra Volume 11 for our audiobook as well as for the subject of our dissertation. Bhanushankar Patra Boli and Chithi Patra Volume 11 serves dual purpose, revealing the intimate world of Tagore and advancing archival accessibility. Beyond Tagore's formalized poetry and prose, his personal correspondence acts as an unvarnished window into his psyche. These letters illuminate his creative thoughts, vulnerable personal relationships, and immediate reactions to contemporary historical shifts. They transform a monumental cultural icon into a deeply relatable individual. Furthermore, these specific texts are rich in visual and material nuances, such as unique handwriting, sketches, or structural layouts, making them ideal candidates for an audio description project. By translating these tactile and visual elements into descriptive audio, the project bridges a vital gap in literary curation. It establishes a template for inclusive archives, ensuring that individuals with visual impairments can fully experience the multidimensional history embedded with Tagore's personal artifacts.
Myself, Raisa Mirza, my roll number 77. I am going to elaborate how is the topic helpful in literature and disability. This project demonstrates that literature can be experienced through different sensory modes and should not be limited to visual reading alone. By creating audiobook of Tagore's letters, we make literary and historical materials more accessible to visually impaired audiences. The project therefore promotes inclusions while encouraging new ways of engaging with literary texts and archives.
I am Devarushmi Mondol and my roll number is 46. I am going to explain the challenges faced in the project. Creating Bengali audiobooks of Bhanushankar Patra Boli and Chithi Patra Volume 11 involved several challenges. The two texts differ in language and tone. Bhanushankar Patra Boli employs a simple and affectionate style, whereas Chithi Patra Volume 11 uses more complex and sometimes Sanskrit-influenced terms. The pronunciation challenges posed by Tagore's archaic Bengali diction stem from the considerable phonological and lexical divergence between the literary idiom of his era and contemporary spoken Bengali. Accurate pronunciation of difficult words, names, and places required extensive practices. Capturing the different emotional moods of the text through voice modulation was also important. Technical issues such as background noise, recording quality, and editing demanded careful attention. Additionally, team discussions were needed to resolve differences in interpretation and narration style.
I'm Shaheen Masood and my roll number is 57. I will discuss the lessons learned in this project. This project taught us that accessibility is not an addition to literature. It can be a different way of reading literature itself. While working on Tagore's letters, we realized that meaning is carried out not only through words but also through visual and material details that many readers take for granted. This project made the group more aware of how literary experiences can exclude certain audiences and how small changes can open up new ways of engaging with texts. It also encouraged us to think of literary archives not as static documents but as living cultural materials that should be accessible to everyone.